Welcome back to Lotus Health Education and Wellness Empowerment through Health Enlightenment. We're continuing on our video series looking at ways that we can incorporate certain foods and the nutrients that they provide into our diet. And with today's video, we're just going to take a look at a recipe that's going to be a follow-on to a recent video that we did talking about beta-carotenes. In today's video, we're actually going to have two of the nutrient groups that we talk about that are going to be the stars of our video. We're going to be looking at our favorite source of beta-carotene, carrots, and also cruciferous vegetables, looking at a recipe that's going to incorporate shredded cabbage and carrots to create an island twist on coleslaw. So let's get started and take a look at how we're going to make today's recipe. So our ingredients for our recipe today are going to include our shredded cabbage. We're going to be using about 2 cups for this particular recipe here. Again, our island take on a coleslaw recipe. Here we're going to be using about 1/3 of a bag of a shredded carrot. So this is going to be about 1 cup of carrots here that we're going to be using. We're going to have about 1 teaspoonful of salt, and you can see there that I added in a little bit of black pepper. We're going to do that to add a little bit of taste and flavor to it. Here we've got our sugar. We're going to do here about 2 tablespoons of sugar for that, 1/3 cup of white vinegar, and then 3 tablespoons of our olive oil that we're going to use to create a little emulsion to be able to coat our vegetable recipe here. So unlike a traditional coleslaw, we're not going to be making a cream base here. We're going to be making something that's still going to have a liquid and a bit of seasoning to it. But with this, we're not going to be doing that creaminess. It's going to be a little bit different. So we're going to take here our bowl and add in our liquid ingredients first. We're going to do our 1/3 cup of white vinegar. Going to add in our olive oil, the sugar, and finally our spices here. So we're going to go ahead and mix this up. And you can also, in addition to this, because as you can very well see, this might take a couple of minutes here to get this nice and mixed. But if you have one of those shakers, for those of us that make like our own dressings, for instance, that are vinegar based, you can go ahead and use that as well. That's going to also help you. Or if you want to use the whisk like I'm doing here, you can certainly do that too. So we just want to go ahead and keep mixing this, as I say, the vinegar and the oil together, along with our salt, sugar, and our pepper, until we get these granulated ingredients nice and mixed in. And then what we want to do here is that once this is mixed, we're going to go ahead and we're going to coat our vegetables. Typically, if you go to a lot of island restaurants and get food, or if you've eaten in the home of someone that's from one of the islands, we'll do things like this to give you a little bit of a salad, if you will, on the side. Again, cream-based sauces are not quite as popular in some of the island recipes as they might be here in the States. But nonetheless, this is going to be a nice little option if you like more that vinaigrette type of feel. And you want to, again, try to incorporate some of the vegetables that we talked about that provide those nutrients from this video series. So we're almost done here with getting our mixture together. Can smell that nice vinaigrette type of smell here in the air with our white vinegar and the olive oil and our spices. So we're going to go ahead and take this and begin the process of coating. So you want to do about half of this. And then we're going to go ahead and add the carrots in. So we want to mix this up just a little bit here. And then we're going to go ahead and add our carrots. And just so we can try and get everything as evenly coated as we can, we're going to go ahead and add in that second portion of our liquid ingredient. So certainly if you like more of a saucy version of this, you can go ahead and make a little bit more by adding in some extra of our liquid ingredients. So we're gonna go ahead and get that mixed up here. And as I mentioned, you'll see here that this basically is a lot like a coleslaw. So we're gonna be mixing this up to get it nice and coated. And this is a good alternative if you're not a big fan of the cream-based flavor. This can be stored in the refrigerator and it can last for a little bit with that vinaigrette instead of the cream base, because you're not going to have as much concerns with having the dairy not being in there, that this can last for a little bit. And so this can be something that you can do as a nice little addition to your meal. You can put this on the side of some sort of grilled meat dish or some other recipe. It can also be used as the base of like a salad, and you can add some protein on top of that, some sort of a grilled meat of some kind, seafood, chicken, a lean cut of beef, something to that effect. And this again is going to incorporate two of our recipe items that we've talked about as part of this video series, our carrots and then also our cruciferous vegetables. So now that we've got this mixed up, just like in the previous video that we had with the escovitch, with this you want to go ahead and leave it so that this can marinate, if you will, for a little bit. So if you're making this and you're going to be serving it right away, you want to go ahead and let it sit for roughly about an hour at room temperature and allow the ingredients, your shredded cabbage, your carrots, to absorb the vinegar, the oil, those spices, and that's, flavor that we're giving to it. So it has a nice little crunch to it, but still some of that flavor. And just like we said with the escovitch recipe, very similar, this can be used as an accompaniment to a wide variety of different types of meats or, other things that you might be looking to incorporate some vegetables into while still trying to get some of those nutrients. I'm going to have in the description for the video some of the information about the ingredients and that rough estimate of the breakdown of things like the beta-carotene and some of the other nutrients that you could expect roughly to absorb as part of this recipe. I hope you enjoyed this. Once you get done with this, just like we said with our escovitch, you can go ahead and take this, stick it in a container, store it in your refrigerator, and it will last you several days to about a week. And you can incorporate it throughout the course of your different meals throughout your week to be able to get a nice healthy source of your nutrients and also some great flavor. As always, if you like the content here, please remember to hit the like and subscribe button. We're going to have a lot more of these recipe videos in between some of those informational videos. There is a ton of recipes out there from all over that we can incorporate some of these really great ingredients, get some nutrients, eat healthy, and be able to keep ourselves well. Please make any of these ingredients, make adjustments, and if you are going to make any of these recipes, we would love for you to share them. We're going to have the link also to our social media accounts where you can tag us and share how you're incorporating a lot of these meals into your diet and making those great choices so that you can remain well. So thank you so much for visiting us again here at Lotus Health Wellness. We are going to look forward to the next set of videos, and we are going to look forward to helping you with empowerment through health enlightenment. Take care. Thank you for watching this video from Lotus Health Education and Wellness. We hope that you enjoyed it and find the content useful on your healthcare journey. We want to remind you that while eating healthy, like a lot of the recommendations that we'll make in these videos, exercising, using certain supplements and medications recommended to you by your healthcare team or that you hear about in general, may be beneficial in many ways, that it's always important to also continue to work with your healthcare team that's responsible for looking after you. Whether that's a primary care visit or a specialist, always make sure to follow the guidance that they provide. Try to keep those regularly scheduled appointments. And while we appreciate the trust and the respect that you may put into a lot of the content that we'll provide here on our channel, always make sure to run that by them anytime you're going to be incorporating anything new into your routine. And also to be mindful that even with our best efforts and all of the things that we'll try to do to keep ourselves healthy, certain things like our genetics, the environment that we live in, other health conditions that we have, and a lot of other things that we may not know about ourselves are unfortunately going to impact our health. Don't get discouraged by that. Always make sure to continue on trying to live your healthiest and being well every day, and follow up with your healthcare team. We hope that you do enjoy our videos. If you do, remember to push that like button and also subscribe. We'll be putting out a lot more content, and we hope to see you back here for empowerment through health enlightenment.